I just read this guide on how Hajj is performed, and wow, it's like stepping into one of the most meaningful journeys in Islam. Hajj, that annual pilgrimage to Mecca that millions undertake, it's not just a trip, it's a spiritual reset. So let's walk through it together, like I'm telling you about this incredible ritual over coffee. I'll keep it straightforward, pulling right from what I learned, and highlight the heart of it all. Hajj starts with preparation, and that's where the whole thing feels so intentional. Before even heading out, a pilgrim has to get their heart and mind ready. It's about purifying intentions, making sure this isn't just a vacation, but a deep act of worship to God. You enter a state called Ihram, which is basically a sacred mindset and dress code. For men, it's simple white garments, 2 pieces of unseamed cloth, one around the waist and one over the shoulders. Women wear modest clothing that covers everything except the face and hands. No fancy stuff, no scents, no arguments. It's like stripping away the everyday to focus on the soul. Imagine boarding a plane feeling this clean, this focused. That's interesting because it sets the tone right away, reminding everyone they're equals on this path. Once you're in Mecca, the first big ritual is Tawaf. You arrive at the Masjid al-Haram, the Grand Mosque, and circle the Kaaba 7 times counterclockwise. The Kaaba, that black cube at the center, it's the house of God, built by Abraham and his son Ishmael way back. As you walk, you're praying, reciting verses, touching the black stone if you can. It's crowded, but that's the point. Millions moving in unity. What strikes me about this is how physical it is. Your feet on the marble, the chants echoing, it's like the whole world shrinking to this one sacred spot. And you do it briskly for the first 3 rounds if you're able, then slower, reflecting. After Tawaf, there's 2 units of prayer behind Maqam Ibrahim, that station of Abraham. It's all about connecting to the prophets, feeling that history under your steps. Right after, you head to Sa'i, which is walking between the hills of Safa and Marwah 7 times. These small hills are where Hagar, Abraham's wife, searched desperately for water for her baby Ishmael. Back and forth, about 3.5 kilometers total, you're reenacting her faith and perseverance. Now, they've got it covered with air-conditioned walkways, but the effort is still there. It's exhausting in the heat, but that's what makes it real. Think about that for a second. Every step honors a mother's trust in God, and at the end, you remember how the Zamzam well sprang up miraculously. Drinking from Zamzam afterward, that cool, blessed water, it's like quenching more than thirst. A few days pass, and then it's time for the day of Arafah, the pinnacle of Hajj. You travel to the plains of Arafah, about 20 kilometers from Mecca, and stand in prayer from noon until sunset. No tents, just open sky, millions gathered. This is where the Prophet Muhammad gave his farewell sermon, emphasizing equality and mercy. You're supplicating, seeking forgiveness, feeling vulnerable under the sun. That's what's powerful here. Hajj isn't about comfort, it's about standing before God, repenting, and hoping for a clean slate. The Prophet said Arafah is the main part of Hajj. Without it, the pilgrimage isn't complete. So you stay there, absorbed in worship, until the sun dips. As night falls, you move to Muzdalifah, a valley nearby. Under the stars, you collect pebbles, about 70 in total for the next days. You spend the night praying. No sleep really, just reflection. It's quiet compared to Arafah, but intense in its own way. Morning comes, and you're off to Mina, a tent city about 8 kilometers away. There, you throw 7 pebbles at the largest pillar, Jamarat al-Aqaba, symbolizing stoning the devil. This comes from Abraham's story, when Satan tried to tempt him from sacrificing Ishmael, and Abraham drove him off with stones. You do this in the morning, then it's time for the sacrifice. The sacrifice, or udhiyah, happens on Eid al-Adha, the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. You slaughter an animal, like a sheep or goat, in commemoration of Abraham's willingness to give up his son. The meat gets distributed, 1/3 to family, 1/3 to friends, 1/3 to the poor. It's messy but meaningful, tying into charity and gratitude. After that, men shave or trim their hair, women clip a bit, and you exit Ihram partially. Suddenly, you can wear regular clothes, use scents, but the journey's not over. Back in Mecca for another Tawaf. This one's called Tawaf al-Ifadah, 7 circuits again, followed by Sa'i if you didn't do it earlier. Then, you return to Mina for the next 3 days, the days of Tashrik. Each day, you stone all 3 Jamarat pillars, 7 pebbles each, starting from the smallest. It's orderly now, with lanes to manage the crowds. You avoid midday heat, focusing on prayer and remembrance. What catches my attention here is the rhythm. It's not random. Every action builds on the last, layering devotion. On the 12th or 13th, you do a farewell tawaf back at the Kaaba 7 more times. This seals it, like saying goodbye to a dear friend who's changed you. Then you leave Mecca carrying the peace of Hajj. But wait, there's more to it. Throughout, there are rules to keep the sanctity. No harming animals, no cutting plants, no fighting. Women in menstruation skip tawaf and sa'i until pure, but they join the rest. If you're sick, you can send someone for the stoning. And visas, they're specific for Hajj, ensuring only Muslims who qualify go. Let me pause here because this whole sequence, it's like a story unfolding. From Ihram's simplicity to Arafah's standing, the stoning's defiance, the sacrifice's generosity. Each part echoes the prophet's trials. Abraham's obedience, Hagar's search, Ishmael's trust. It's not just ritual, it's reliving faith's core. And the unity, Muslims from every corner, rich and poor, black and white, all in white ihram. No hierarchies, just humanity before God. One thing that surprised me is how practical it gets. The document spells out timings like Hajj starts on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah with going to Mina, then Arafah on the 9th. Stay overnight there if you can. And the pebbles, they have to be from Muzdalifah, no bigger than chickpeas. Details like that ground it, make it doable. For first-timers, it's overwhelming, but guides and apps help now. Still, the essence is personal, your own connection. As I think through this, what strikes me most is the transformation. Pilgrims return as Hajis with a title that commands respect. Sins forgiven, they say, like being reborn. But it's the discipline, the empathy from enduring the same hardships that lasts. Imagine carrying that into daily life, the patience from those long walks, the charity from the sacrifice. So that's Hajj in a nutshell, or really, in a full episode's worth. It's this profound blend of body, mind, and spirit, drawing from ancient stories to renew faith today. Thanks for joining me on Curious Paths. Until next time, keep exploring what moves you.